So riddle me this one, America. How did we go from corporate funded manufactured driver shortage to a full blown blitz? You ever get the feeling that the people writing trucking policy these days have never driven past their own driveway? Your next Trump update coming up next on Truckin' Headlines. That's right. A crisis built on paper and promoted by lobbyists. What's the common denominator here? Control, plain and simple. It was never about safety and it was never about shortages. It was about shaping the labor force to benefit megacarriers, bottom line investors, and bureaucrats more comfortable in cubicles than in the cabs of the truck. For over a decade, we've watched this industry bend under the pressure, cheap labor, enforcement loopholes that reward quantity over quality, and a regulatory jungle that traps the small guy when letting the suits fly under the radar. And now, enter stage right, President Trump's executive order. Greetings to you, truck lovers and truth seekers. This is Truckin' Headlines, your update on trucking for those with no time and plenty of common sense. Broadcasting from the collaborative think tank for advanced trucking journalism right here at the heart of the Truth in Broadcasting Network. I'm BossMan, your host, your guide to common sense where mainstream media doesn't see any. Follow us for more on news, insight, and things you can use to help make trucking great again. Become a subscriber today. Join the United States of Trucking. Now, don't get me wrong. I support safety, communication, and professionalism. But let's not pretend this is some groundbreaking fix that Trump's about to enact here. The rule already exists. What's different here is who's suddenly interested in enforcing it and how fast they want to go about it. So the question is, what happens if this is dealt with properly? Well, one, you clean up the industry because Lord knows we've had a lot of people that are improperly trained and seriously unqualified, wreaking havoc and mayhem on our industry for years now. You raise the bar for the professional conduct of the rest of the industry, and you level the field for the honest carriers who want to play by the rules. Now, if this is done wrong, you're going to open the door to selective enforcement, lawsuits, discrimination, and confusion at every turn from El Paso to Pittsburgh. And you weaponize policy to punish hardworking people that are already here, legally doing the job and excelling at that. So let's not forget, while they're arguing about who speaks English, freight theft, broker fraud, and truck parking still continue to be a problem. The question I'm going to ask is, when is the rest of this going to be addressed with the same fervor that your executive order is? In a decisive move, President Trump has issued an executive order mandating that all commercial truck drivers in the United States demonstrate English proficiency. This directive aims to enhance road safety, ensuring that drivers can read traffic signs, communicate with law enforcement, and complete necessary documentation as per directives that have been enforced since 2016 and before. This order seeks to standardize compliance across all 50 states. Major trucking organizations like the ATA and the OOIDA have long expressed strong support, emphasizing the importance of communication to assist in safety. And the timeline? Well, the Department of Transportation has been directed to enforce this new order within 60 days. Now, I ask you, put in the comments, do you think this is going to be done in 60 days? According to the trucker.com, President Trump has signed an executive order. The media wants you to believe it's about safety and that it's easy to do in 60 days. This, my friends, is where the bureaucratic boondoggle begins to unfold. A big government stunt dressed up as reform, and here's where the wheels fall off. The FMCSA oversees 3.5 million CDL holders in the U.S. And according to their own data, Nearly 800,000 enter the industry on a rather frequent basis. Think about that. There have been videos circulating about the exact number of non-English speaking drivers. I think I'm closer to right. If you know the answer, put it down in the comments under this video. The numbers of new registered non-domiciled CDLs would stagger your mind. Yet there's no standardized federal testing for English language proficiency at roadside checkpoints or entry into the industry. No uniform scale, no clear guidelines. DOT inspectors, they're already overwhelmed and undertrained to deal with this kind of enforcement. So we're going to rewrite the rules in just 60 days and enforce everybody to somehow magically make this happen. My friends, this is reckless and it's a disaster waiting to unfold. The worst to be suffering are the small carriers who can't afford compliance consultants because they need to prove something because maybe they have English issues. Again, I'm not being racist. I'm not being predictive. I'm simply stating the facts. We have small carriers in this country that can speak English, but because they don't understand the system, might get caught up in the red tape and lose their livelihood. And lastly, there's owner-operators who have to worry about the subjective language assessments during these inspections on top of everything else that we've got going on. Now, let me ask you something. How do you test proficiency on the side of the road? I mean, outside of the obvious, if they speak a completely foreign language and you, understanding English as your main, don't have a clue what they're saying, obvious red flag. But is it going to be left to the officer's opinion? Is there going to be a checklist? Is there going to be a pop quiz and all that? What is really guiding the proficiency requirement and angle? And furthermore, unless not asked by anyone in mainstream media, what is the ending result to be achieved? Is it safety? Is it a change in profitability? Is it an addition to standards, a change to standards? Or is this virtual signaling? Look, folks, when it comes to solving the industry ills and raising the standards and making trucking great again, you don't solve the structural collapse that has existed for the last decade in this industry by slapping on a few bumper stickers and calling the problem solved. This ain't about making the roads safer. It's about looking busy just to get reelected. And I'm not talking about Donald Trump. He's on his last term. I'm talking about everybody down ticket from him. Let me make something clear. You don't fix progress with panic. Look, I'm not here to torch the whole idea. I think we agree this industry needs a higher set of standards and we need accountability. But we also need clear communication across every load, every lane, and every policy change to make sure that everything done helps make trucking great again. If you're not careful, you hurt the very people that keep this industry intact and keep this country moving. Drivers with families, small fleets, and everything else on the line. Those of us that play by the rules will get swept up in the crossfire. And that, my friends, is not how you make trucking great again. Hashtag just saying. If you found this video informative and insightful, take a minute of your time, go down below, hit that like button. Truth doesn't take a back seat in my rig, and it shouldn't in yours either. Take a moment, go ahead and check out this playlist. And remember, guys, it's the trucks that make the deliveries, but it's you that make the difference. Till next time, remember, keep it real, keep the faith, and of course, keep it rolling.